something completely different.
Oh, yeah. Got so much going on in the NBA. If you want to hear the X's and O's, go to NBA TV, where they'll show the same 2 games all day. But if you want to hear me rip into that choke artist, that loser known as Paul George, then you've come to the right place. This guy right here, Paul George, who never wins when it matters. Whenever you need Paul George to be clutch, the dude will just shoot a jump shot with 3 people around him, and then he'll go like 7 for 21 and not win any games. And he ripped into Clipper fans, the same Clipper fans that wanted him to be good. I could not believe this. Paul George, first of all, hasn't been playing a lot this season, but he's able to do podcasts. You look at JJ Redick. JJ Redick, when he got hired as the Lakers head coach, he quit doing the podcast. But Paul George, I got to do the podcast. I got to be famous. But then again, why am I expecting credibility from someone who knocked up and married the stripper that they cheated on their wife with? You're kind of a dirtbag. Here's Paul George's stupid podcast with his kiss-ass sycophant fans, or friends rather, but they're probably fans, his co-hosts.
The tribute was going on. The wall was cheering. And I ain't trying to hear that shit. I ain't trying to hear that shit now.
Wait.
So right after I wave them off, they go back to booing.
Talks about his return to the Clippers.
Yeah.
In LA.
Yeah, they was cheering they were
You see the
cheering right
signs?
after the tribute.
Did you see the signs?
What did it say?
There was a couple of them
They had a podcast.
shut up and talk, stop, think before you talk. And
It's a good idea. You say a lot of dumb things on his podcast. You're not bad at it, but it's obvious you cared more about the podcast than winning.
What did I say
they
was
came
wrong?
prepared.
What did
Say
I
that
did?
again?
I didn't
If you're butthurt over the Clippers, you are the definition of a loser.
I did not call Clippers.
If he's having to do that 5 seconds of dead air, he's lying. He's trying to think of what to say because he's lying through his teeth, his nice white teeth.
The B team. I said it felt like the B team just because
you couldn't win when it mattered. You were a part of the B team. They just wanted you to win, bro. There are Clipper fans, but they just wanted you to win, and you couldn't get it done. You're better in a video game than in real life.
everywhere you go, people in LA say you should be a Laker. You should be a Laker. That wasn't minimizing. That wasn't.
Well, then you should have been better to get to the Lakers. You're a choke artist. Paul George is one of those players, if you don't watch the NBA, he's good. He's going to go into the Hall of Fame, but he's very self-centered. He's like, I think these teams should retire my jersey. It's like, you got to earn that. Whenever you need Paul George to win, whenever you need him to be clutch, he is just a choke artist. Mm-hmm.
Downplaying or, I was a Clipper. Like, that's who I chose to play for. Like, I wasn't, comparing them and saying that they were underneath the Lakers. It was just how LA interprets that or how LA treats.
Well, if you're so good and badass as you claim you are with all the hundreds of millions you make, you'll be able to draw in a crowd. Excuses. This is the most millennial thing. This is why older generations hate on younger players, because of garbage like this.
Players that are in LA, like, they think you should be a Laker. They think there's not another team there.
Yeah.
Well, that's a you problem, that you weren't good enough to join the Lakers, that you're not a LeBron.
So that was where that comment was from, but they proved me right. They didn't pack out and they aren't packing out Intuit Dome.
Well, that's a you problem. If you're blaming the fans for not showing up to games, especially in LA where everything's expensive, you're a scumbag. And I'm sick of it. I've tried to lay back and not rip into Paul George too much, but this podcast has got it to his head. You were a nobody who couldn't get it done. You're literally famous for having Damian Lillard hit that half-court three over you. You're a choke artist. You're great. I get it. You're an all-star. You're blah, blah, blah. You're famous. But you're a zilch in the NBA. You can't get anything done. Like they say, you should never trust somebody with two first names as their first and last name.
Like, that's y'all home. That's y'all team. Go fucking support them. Like, go be there every night. Go show that this is who our players are. This is who our team is.
Yeah, you're a bunch of choke artists. And you're going to do the same thing for Philly. They'll either lose in the first or second round. If I had money, I would literally bet against Paul George choking in the playoffs. He does it every time. Whenever you need him to win, he misses the jump shot.
Like I didn't understand
He's a millennial Joe Johnson.
it. You know, again, I was a free agent. It's not like I asked to get out of a contract or asked to leave.
But you choked. Whenever you needed to win a game, you couldn't do it. The bench players were better than you, bro.
If y'all knew the whole transcript of how it played out.
When he said trans, I thought he was going to say, like, Dwight Howard.
Happy Hour. Happy Hour.